Welcome to Final Whiz. Today's biggest football stories could reshape the transfer market. Liverpool are preparing a massive move for Bradley Barcola. Chelsea have completed a major deal for Danny Welbeck, while another experienced star could also be on the way. Manchester United are linked with a surprise £70 million target, and FIFA is facing one of its biggest controversies in recent years. Let's get straight into the biggest headlines. Liverpool are preparing an official bid for Paris Saint-Germain winger Bradley Barcola, according to sources close to the deal. The Reds have already held preliminary talks with his representatives, and the player himself is reported to be keen on a move to Anfield. Barcola is valued at around €150 million, which converts to roughly £128.5 million or $170.9 million. This move comes directly after the departure of Mohamed Salah, leaving a gap in Liverpool's attack that the club is determined to fill quickly. Barcola's contract at PSG runs until 2028, but he has made it clear he has no intention of signing an extension. Last season, he made 49 appearances for the French champions, scoring 13 goals and providing 7 assists, helping PSG retain both the Ligue 1 title and the Champions League. Despite those numbers, his game time was limited by competition from Khvicha Kvaratskhelia and Désiré Doué, and sources say he is eager for a new challenge. At this summer's World Cup, Barcola scored 3 goals in 8 appearances for France, further raising his profile. PSG are expected to demand a fee well in excess of €100 million, meaning the two clubs still have significant negotiating to do before any transfer is finalized. This is exactly the kind of major update you don't want to miss, and that's why it matters that you're here with Final Whiz. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now, tap the like button, and drop a comment telling us whether you think Liverpool should pay €150 million for Barcola. Every subscription helps this channel keep bringing you transfer news the moment it breaks, before anyone else covers it. Liverpool's need for a right winger isn't just speculation, it lines up with independent data analysis. According to Opta Analyst, published through The Guardian, Salah's final season at Liverpool was his least productive by his own standards, yet he still contributed to 22 goals across all competitions last year. The same analysis states that a dynamic wide attacker who can provide both goals and creativity is exactly what's needed to replace that output, and it specifically names Barcola as a target that fits the profile. It also notes that head coach Andoni Iraola has a strong track record of developing wide attacking players, which adds further logic to Liverpool's interest. Now let's move to Chelsea, where a deal has already crossed the finish line. Danny Welbeck has been granted permission to undergo a medical at Chelsea, according to reports from Ben Jacobs. The Brighton and Hove Albion forward is set to sign a 2-year deal at Stamford Bridge after the two clubs agreed terms in principle. Welbeck scored 13 Premier League goals last season, the best return of his entire career, and once the medical is completed, he will fly out to join Chelsea's pre-season tour of Hong Kong. The 35-year-old former Arsenal and Manchester United striker has made more than 400 Premier League appearances in his career, and his arrival is being described as a clear departure from Chelsea's recent strategy of signing young, inexperienced talent. Instead, it signals a shift under new manager Xabi Alonso toward more established, experienced players. This move is expected to have consequences elsewhere in Chelsea's squad. The signing increases the likelihood of departures for both Liam Delap and Nicholas Jackson, with uncertainty already surrounding their futures at the club. Delap is currently considered the second-choice striker behind João Pedro, who scored 15 league goals last season and recorded a 9-minute hat-trick in a 6-4 pre-season win over Western Sydney Wanderers. Jackson, meanwhile, spent last season on loan at Bayern Munich and has reportedly attracted interest from Aston Villa. But the Welbeck deal isn't the only headline coming out of Chelsea this week. Jordan Henderson has left Brentford as a free agent after both parties reached a mutual agreement to terminate his contract, opening the door for Chelsea to sign him as well. Henderson had a year remaining on his deal, but Brentford's director of football, Phil Giles, confirmed the club had always planned to have conversations with him after the World Cup. Giles stated, "Following those conversations, it was clear that Jordan's preference was to try something different in the final years of his playing career. We had always said to him that, should that be the case, we would not stand in his way." Henderson himself said upon his exit, "I leave Brentford with a lot of gratitude for the opportunity the club gave me, and for the support and care shown to me and my family from day one." Brentford boss Keith Andrews added, "Taking into consideration Jordan's ambitions and where our squad is currently, we both felt it was the right time for Jordan to pursue his career elsewhere." Interestingly, while Chelsea has been active in attack, data analysis suggests their most urgent need lies elsewhere. According to Opta Analyst, Chelsea have already spent more than £200 million this summer, including £117 million on Morgan Rogers, yet goalkeeper remains their weakest position. The report states that since joining in August 2023, Robert Sanchez ranks second in the Premier League for errors leading to shots, with 17 recorded, and 7 errors leading directly to goals. The same report notes that of the 10 players with the worst error records in the league, Sanchez has made the fewest total appearances and played the fewest minutes, meaning his error rate per game is exceptionally high. Now to the story that's raising eyebrows across the league: Manchester United's move for Everton forward Iliman Ndiaye. According to a report from the Daily Mirror, United are considering a move for the Senegal international, who has emerged as a target in recent weeks as the club searches for attacking reinforcements. Everton are expected to demand around £70 million to sanction his departure following what the report describes as an impressive 2025-26 Premier League campaign. Adding another layer to the story, Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal are also interested in the 26-year-old, setting up a potential transfer battle. Everton, for their part, remain hopeful of keeping Ndiaye and have already initiated contract talks in an effort to secure his future at the club. What makes this move genuinely surprising is where it sits against United's actual squad needs. According to the same Opta Analyst breakdown published by The Guardian, Manchester United's clearest gap is in central midfield, not the final third. The report explains that if Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount are categorized as attacking midfielders, United had only 3 senior central midfielders last season: Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro, and Manuel Ugarte. Casemiro has since joined Inter Miami, and Ugarte would likely have left had he not suffered an anterior cruciate ligament injury at the World Cup, an injury expected to keep him out for most of the season. Despite the arrivals of Andrey Santos and Youri Tielemans, the report states United still need an athletic ball-winning midfielder. On that note, pundit Julian Lawrence has already praised one of United's other signings, stating on air that Tielemans' move to Manchester United is one of the best signings of the window. Before moving on, here's a rapid round of other confirmed and developing deals across Europe. Manchester City winger Savinho remains Tottenham Hotspur's top target, according to journalist Fabrizio Romano, with any deal now hinging on City's willingness to sell. Nottingham Forest are closing in on Sporting defender Ousmane Diomande, with the fee expected to land around €40 million. In the Championship, United States midfielder Sebastian Berhalter has completed a move to Middlesbrough from the Vancouver Whitecaps for an undisclosed fee, reuniting him with former teammate Aidan Morris. Free agent John Stones is set to undergo a medical at Inter Milan on Thursday, ahead of signing a 2-year contract. Chelsea goalkeeper Philip Jurgensen is nearing an exit to Strasbourg, and Coventry City are set to sign goalkeeper Carl Rushworth from Brighton for a fee of £22.5 million. Now to the story that could reshape football far beyond this transfer window. FIFA is facing chaos on two separate fronts. First, FIFA has officially opened disciplinary proceedings against Argentina over their conduct following the World Cup final defeat to Spain, as well as incidents throughout the tournament. On the recommendation of a newly appointed disciplinary and ethics prosecutor, FIFA will investigate Nahuel Molina on 2 counts, Leandro Paredes on 3 counts, and assistant coach Roberto Ayala on 1 count, all under Article 14 of FIFA's disciplinary code relating to alleged assault. Molina faces an additional charge of unsporting behavior, a charge also being investigated against teammate Thiago Almada and Spain midfielder Gavi. Under FIFA's code, players found guilty of unsporting conduct face a minimum 1-match suspension, while an assault charge carries a minimum ban of 3 matches. The investigation also extends to the Argentine Football Association itself, covering potential breaches including non-sporting demonstrations, team misconduct, and breaches of order and security, following an incident where players displayed a banner reading, Las Malvinas son Argentinas, after their semi-final win over England. The second and arguably larger controversy centers on FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who has written to all 211 member associations offering them $40 million each if they back his plan to sell stakes in FIFA's major competitions, including the World Cup, to external investors. Infantino has set a deadline of September 19 for federations to accept the plan in order to access an initial $20 million, available from January 1. The full proposal, according to a 5-page letter reviewed by the BBC, could raise as much as $10 billion in total. UEFA responded immediately, stating, "We have learned of FIFA's deadline to associations to support their proposals or have the one-off payout offer withdrawn. This says everything you need to know about this plan." The statement continued, "FIFA cannot continue to use our sport to enrich themselves and their friends." Infantino has defended the plan publicly, stating, "It's part of a democratic process, a consultation process, and, above all, it is an opportunity but not an obligation." The backlash has extended well beyond UEFA. La Liga president Javier Tebas said, "It doesn't seem like a reform. It seems like an electoral campaign financed with the future of football." He added, "Infantino is not the solution to FIFA's governance. He is the problem." Borussia Dortmund president and DFB vice president Hans-Joachim Watzke told Kicker magazine that the plan represents an absolute attack on football, adding that a line has been crossed here. Global Players Union FIFPRO stated it had noted with deep concern the proposal to transform the World Cup and other FIFA competitions into investable assets for private capital. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter also weighed in, saying, "The close relationship between the FIFA president and the US president has reached a financial dimension that is deeply damaging football. No one has the right to sell our game." UEFA has since called an emergency meeting of all 55 member associations this week to determine a coordinated response, with some sources comparing the scale of this crisis to the 2021 European Super League collapse, though few expect FIFA to back down as quickly this time. That's everything moving across the football world right now. A €150 million chase at Liverpool, a completed Chelsea deal with an unexpected Henderson twist, a surprising Manchester United target, and a FIFA governance crisis that could reshape the sport's future. If you want every one of these stories followed through to their conclusion, make sure you're subscribed to Final Whiz, turn on notifications so you never miss an update, and leave a comment below telling us which story you want covered next. This channel exists to keep you ahead of the headlines, and your support is what makes that possible.